Good evening. If you're on with me, hey Jessica, how are you? You ready to roll? Awesome. Well, we'll give it a little bit of time for others to join. Then we'll dive into tonight's questions. I've got some news to share, and then we've got our ABCs to play. How's little Ruby doing? Hey Cece, welcome in. Hope you both are doing well tonight. Couch potato tonight. I love it. Hey Lamont, welcome in, sir. How are you? Still messing with my little thing it's supposed to, and that made it worse. It's about as good as I'm going to get. So we'll wait for some others to join. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. Happy Wishful Wednesday. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. There we go. So Jessica, I've got 6 questions that have been sent in that we'll talk through. I came up with this idea of, hey, Skel, of trying to do a trip tip every Wednesday night when we go live. You got to be careful saying trip tip because I'll trip myself up saying it too fast. Then I have a little bit of news, and then we've got one more ABC game to play. How you doing tonight, Skel? I'll be doing something for you tomorrow morning. I think you know what it is. Welcome in, everybody. Going to give it a few minutes. It's only 7:31 Eastern right now. Cece, I've got your questions ready to go. Chris sent in a few, and then Dina sent one in. So we'll give folks a couple minutes to join before we get started. How's everybody's day today? Phoebe's, welcome in. How are you? That's right, 15 days. Yes. I was just thinking about that a little bit ago, that a week from tomorrow morning, I'll be doing our lightning lane selections. I'm pretty excited about that. Being the planner that I am, I've probably charted that thing out 20 different ways in strategies of how we're going to, what we'll rope drop and try to get done through the rope drop time, and then what we'll do for our lightning lanes for our first round. Since we've got little Briggs with us, who's not going to be quite 2 years old, I think we're going to do lightning lanes for Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. I normally wouldn't do Hollywood, but if we can save time having him waiting in line, and my parents as well, in the heat, I would just as soon do that. Gary, how are you? 292 days. Be here before you know it. Blake, howdy. Hi, Briggs. How are you? My little grandson, Briggs, and my wife, Lori, are on right now. Hi, Briggsy. Hey, buddy. Let's see here. Jessica, unfortunately, no, that will not be tonight's ABC version. Maybe next time. Hey, John, how are you? Welcome in. Briggs wave. What a sweetie. Briggsy, this is for you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hey, Dina, how are you? Welcome in. It's great to see everybody on tonight. We're going to give it about 2 more minutes, and then we'll get started. Helen made it. Hey, Helen, welcome in. Happy Wednesday for you. Oh, Skel, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, since Skel just mentioned it, if you did not get a chance to check it out, this past Monday's podcast that I dropped was about things to pack in your park bag. I actually did a decent job of having show and tell. I had some stuff to show in the podcast, so give that a listen and a watch if you get the chance. I will give you a sneak peek. Next Monday's podcast is going to be about split stays at Disney. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. Buying your bags this week? Yes, Jessica, I love it. I just bought a new backpack for myself a couple days ago, I think, for this coming trip. I have been using a cinch bag, but the cords were almost like rope. And by like day 2, my shoulder hurt like crazy. And I finally realized it was because the cords or the rope was just kind of rubbing as I was walking through the park all day long. And so I'm like, I got to find something different to do than that. Scale, I'm glad. I appreciate that. That was helpful. Good. Thank you. And I say this all the time, and I truly mean it. If there's ever a topic that you have an interest in hearing about, reach out and let me know what it is. I will work it in with my schedule for a future podcast. I can tell you, hey, Chris, welcome in. I have recorded, since we're going to be out of town for a week, I've recorded podcasts that get me out to the middle of June. So I'm sharing that now because if you were to say, hey, can you do topic A, B, or C, and you're waiting to hear me talk about it, it might be a month or so out just because I've got things scheduled out. Yeah, Lamont, it was like the first time I took that bag down, day 2 or day 3, I was like, why does my shoulder hurt like that? It felt like it felt like almost sunburn, but just in a very narrow strip. And I wasn't wearing a tank top. So I didn't understand. And then I finally figured out what was going on there. Let's see if I missed any comments here. No, I think we're good. So I think I saw everybody that sent in questions. I think I've seen join. So let's go ahead and kick this off tonight. I've got 6 questions. We'll go through your questions and answers. And as always, if any of you have experience in any of these questions that you've dealt with, by all means, feel free to put comments in the chat. I'm going to do a trip tip. Man, I really have a hard time with that trip tip. I came up with that idea. I was driving home this evening and I had a thought of something and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to do a trip tip every week. And some of them might be super logical things that we talk about, but I think they're helpful to say. Some of them might be super logical, but that we just don't connect the dots. Like tonight, I didn't even think about it until just this evening. And so that hit me. So we'll share that. I've got a couple of updates on things, and then we'll do our ABC game to wrap up tonight. So with that, let's get started. Chris, I see you right there. Last comment in. Your question was the first one in. I think you've got 2 or 3 of them, if I remember right. I got to flip over, maybe 2. I don't remember. 3. Yes, you've got 3. But in order. So Chris asked, do we know when the nighttime parade at Magic Kingdom will start? So first off, that nighttime parade is called Disney Starlight Parade. It has a longer title than that, but I think it's going to probably be commonly referred to as Disney Starlight Parade. The super quick answer, Chris, is there's no official open date announced. Disney has not shared one. There has been plenty of speculation in different publications, and it's just that speculation. It's rumor. Some of it might be educated guess, but until Disney tells us a date, we don't know. So speculation, first off, the month of May is completely off the table. It's not happening in May. Breaks my heart because I was hoping it would be going by the time we got there, but it's not. I think we're awfully dang close to the month of June being completely off the table as a possibility whatsoever. The heavy speculation that I've been reading about is that they believe there's a possibility that the second week of July, around July 6th, so 4th of July is a Friday. What a celebration weekend that's going to be for everybody. That Monday the 6th, Disney's schedule, at least for a point in time, had moved Happily Ever After back to a 10 p.m. showing. And the thought was that the parade would run at 9 and at 11 if the park's open late enough. But at least a 9 o'clock parade. That's been the speculation. Now, just yesterday, I was reading 2 or 3 different publications. And I say publications, guys, because A, I don't really pay attention to who wrote it. And B, unless it's coming direct from Disney, to me, it doesn't really matter who wrote it because it's all speculation, rumors. But seems to be a growing sense that the opening of that parade may not even hit that July 6th window, and that it could be more of a late July or even August start. If you try to, it's like doing a puzzle. If all of the puzzle pieces came from one box when you opened it for the first time, those pieces will all fit together and it tells a story, right? It shows whatever the picture is. Sometimes I feel like these speculations and rumors are like we have a box of puzzle pieces, but it came from 3 different puzzles. Some of the pieces will fit together and some of them might not fit together. And you try to make something out of it that may or may not be there. Okay. And so this is what I mean. Speculation that late July, it's more likely late July or even August for the parade to start at the Magic Kingdom, the nighttime parade. Again, Disney Starlight Parade. I'm not going to get into the heavy part of this next thing because I have it later on, but most all of you, I think, know that Disney announced the dates for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Well, unless you really looked, and this is where the speculation of matching puzzle pieces together kind of ties in, this year's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party starts a full week later than last year. So there's some, again, speculation that might be an indication that Disney wants to get the new nighttime parade up and running and have as long of a run, consecutive days as possible before it would go to an interrupted showing, because they won't do it on Halloween party nights. So that's been speculated. I also read another publication that, again, that's their gut feel, take it for what it's worth, that they anticipate this is a slow growing snowball rolling downhill that's going to gain momentum and size and strength. And we're going to eventually hear that Disney's not going to launch the new parade until 2026. Man, I hope that's not the case, because I have my heart set on the fact that for all of us that are going to be there in November together, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, that parade's happening and we're going to get to enjoy it on a Magic Kingdom night that's not a party night. But yeah, Helen, it would be horrible, wouldn't it? So I would like to think that Disney would not have said it's going to come in the summer of 2025 if they weren't fairly certain. And as soon as I say that, I almost said absolutely certain, like in the back of my head, it was like somebody flicked me. Disney announced a time frame for the new Little Mermaid show at Hollywood Studios to open. And it was supposed to be last summer, and then it got moved to fall, and here it's opening on May 27th. So I hope that that's not what's happening with the parade, and that it's going to happen sometime this summer, even if it's the day before Labor Day weekend, when to me that's kind of the end of summer. So I'm watching for that stuff all of the time, and I'm sure you guys are looking at stuff too, but as soon as it's announced, we'll be talking about it on one of these Wednesday night sessions shortly thereafter. So that's what I know on the parade, Chris, at this point in time. More speculation than anything else. All right, Chris's next question. I kind of giggle at the first half of this question. I don't have a dog, but what Disney resorts are dog friendly? So great question. Helpful for anybody who has a dog that they don't want to have it put, aboard it at a place back home, or maybe they don't know anybody back home that could watch the dog on their behalf, so they want to bring the dog with them. There are 4 resorts that are designated as dog friendly on property, and I'm only speaking on property. If it's off property, you'd have to check into each individual hotel as to what their policies are. But in the bubble, on property, Art of Animation is a dog friendly resort. That is the only value resort that is dog friendly. From a moderate resort, Port Orleans Riverside is a dog friendly designated resort on property. And then from a deluxe standpoint, either Fort Wilderness Cabins or Yacht Club. Those are your deluxe dog friendly accommodations. Yep, perfect. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate the question. And that's another thing. If you have questions that don't really pertain to you, but you think they'd be beneficial to others, by all means, send them in. I don't mind that whatsoever. Hey, Tony, how are you? Welcome in. Okay, Tony wants to know. I'll answer that real quick, and then we'll go back to these. For a Halloween party, which day would I think is less crowded, Tuesday or Thursday? My gut would tell me Tuesday. Um, and I think of it this way. Obviously, the crowds are going to be what the crowds are for people like me that live halfway across the country when we fly in for a vacation. We're there for a week. A Tuesday or Thursday is irrelevant to me. But I think Tuesday would be better because most locals might do Thursday night party and then take Friday off of work and recover. But here's the thing, Tony. Disney has a designated number of tickets that they sell for each night's party. And by the time the party start, every night is sold out. So you're likely going to have the same number of people there, whether it's Tuesday or Thursday. I still think Tuesday to me would feel less crowded just because you don't have the weekend factor, if you will. As far as the numbers go, if you're interested in what they sell, let's start with this. The Magic Kingdom's capacity, if Disney allowed everybody in up to capacity, so think like Christmas Day, maybe, or New Year's Eve, 100,000 people. Okay. They typically sell between 30 and 40% up to capacity. So you're talking about 30,000 to 40,000 people for the Halloween party or Christmas party for that matter. Now, this is, you guys will, if you spend any time with me, you know, and my wife, if she's still on, she'll probably tell you this. I have a bunch of what I like to say useless knowledge in the back of my brain that doesn't matter to a lot of people. I can tell you when Mark McGwire hit his 62nd home run and his 70th home run, silly things like that. Magic Kingdom averages 54,000 people a day throughout an entire calendar year. So they average about 50 to 55% of capacity. So you talk about the Halloween parties, you're even less than a normal day at Magic Kingdom. So a lot lighter crowds, which is certainly very helpful. Yes, VBs, you're right. If you're staying in one of those resorts and don't have a dog, you can request extra cleaning just in case you need it. Allergic to dogs, anytime we stay, there's always request extra deep clean of the room just to be safe. Absolutely. Now, yeah, not exactly sure if they do it. So actually, that VB, I'm glad you mentioned that, because while Chris's question, I think, is targeted to if you have a dog and you're bringing it, where can you stay on property? I could flip this and say, if you have severe dog allergies and you have heightened concerns about staying somewhere that has had a dog in it, regardless of how well or how poorly they clean it, then these are 4 resorts you might want to avoid. So it's really how you look at the question, whether you're a dog lover and bringing the dog or you have severe allergies and want to avoid. That's a really great comment there, VBs, to think about. So again, Art of Animation, Valley Resort, Port Orleans Riverside, Moderate, Yacht Club, and Fort Wilderness cabins for the deluxe are dog friendly. Now, within the bubble, we actually drove by this, I think the last time Lori and I were there, our Uber driver drove us by. There's a dog place on property called Best Friends Pet Care. They offer overnight boarding and daycare, camp programs for your dogs, grooming, and they will even do transport pickup and drop off at your resort. So you're going to go to the park all day long. You really can't leave your dog locked in your resort room. That just wouldn't be fair to the dog. And you never know what kind of mischief the dog might get into. And then that's going to cost you extra money. So there is a camp on site, Best Friends Pet Care, that you can utilize. Let's see here. Jessica said the crowds were more respectful of space during the Halloween party. Yeah, I would agree, Jessica. It's an interesting thing too, because like last year we were there on Friday the 13th for Halloween party. Cool date to go, right? Friday the 13th. It was hot as blazes. And so people are in costumes, which those things sometimes aren't the coolest things to wear as far as temperatures go. And so keeping adequate space between people was very helpful from that standpoint. And it really depends upon what it is you're doing. Now, when we sat on Main Street for the second parade, because they do it twice on party nights, Main Street was packed. It felt like a normal day. but that should be expected. It's like standing in the circle right in front of the stage to watch the fireworks. It doesn't matter if there's 30,000 people in the park or 55,000 people in the park. That space is going to get crowded and it's going to feel crowded. But moving around the park into the different areas, whether it's Tomorrowland or Fantasyland or Liberty Square, Adventureland, all of those areas, a lot of room to move around, a lot of different things going on, a lot of fun. And I'll talk about some of that here in a little bit when I get to the Halloween party information. Let's see here. Skell, I do wonder about the sellout capacities. They seem to move people to future sold out dates if their night gets rained out. They'll probably factor that in. Yeah. So, Skell, I think in the last 3 years, there might have been 2, maybe 3 times where, because of severe weather, a lot of lightning, heavy torrential rains, they couldn't do the parades, they couldn't do the fireworks. They did give people tickets to another night of the party. Now, some people weren't going to be there long enough for the next night's party, and so maybe they were given park hopper tickets for the next day in their parks or something for a future return. So it wasn't like 30,000 people were given a Halloween party ticket for the next one or the one after the one after. So it will really vary depending on case by case. I think some people might have said, hey, I'll be back for the Christmas party. Can you swap for a Christmas ticket? And so there's different things that they will do. Yeah, Jessica, absolutely. That's the other thing in September. September and October is the peak for a hurricane season. So you kind of roll the dice there. So anyway, all right. Now it's just going to be a fun fact, but I'm going to ask the question. And some of you might know this because I know I've talked about it before. Disney recognizes 2 different types of animals as service animals. What are those 2 types of animals that Disney recognizes as service animals? I'm going to take a drink while you guys put your answers in the chat. Hey, Lauren, welcome in. Hi there. Chris, dogs and little horses, service ponies and dogs. Dogs, crazy to think that I have known you that long. No kidding, Jessica. Hey, Stephen, welcome in from Wyoming, neighbor. I'm just to the east of you in Nebraska. So yes, Chris and Skell are correct. The 2 types of animals that Disney recognizes as service animals are dogs, which I think we would have all inherently guessed, and miniature ponies. I don't know about you, but I've never in my life walked down Main Street with somebody with a miniature pony next to them because that's their service animal. That would be pretty strange. And you're going to get a pony. I wonder if you're required to then have the dude with the little trash can and the shovel walking behind the pony that you're walking down Main Street with. I don't know. Okay. So, Chris, that's your dog question. Good conversation, good stuff to think about from both sides of it. Helen, I have no idea why they came up with pony. I honestly don't know. I don't know. There's probably 3 or 4 other animals I would have thought of, certainly before pony. Custom pony pooper scooper. Yes, Jessica, or an attached basket behind the pony or something. I don't know. Yeah, Skell, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I know that Disney has on rides that they don't allow the dogs to ride. They have kennels sitting there. I remember Slinky Dog Dash, for instance. There's a large kennel for them to put a dog in when the owners are riding the ride. I don't remember seeing miniature stables on rides for the miniature ponies to go and be tied up to. Yeah, Helen, exactly. All right. Cece, are you still with me? Cece, you are next up. And hopefully, Dina, you're still with me too, because I've got your question. Dina's here. Cece's here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Cece, I'm going to go Cece, Dina, Cece, Chris. I go in the order that they come in. Good, Chris, you're still here. Perfect. Okay. CC asked, for after hours events, do they give you a wristband? So, CC, I don't know if you're talking about like the Disney after hours where it's a special ticketed event, if you're talking about the Halloween party or the Christmas party, any of those, yes, there is a special wristband that you will get and wear, and that's how they know that you are allowed to still be in the park during those hours. If you are, let's say Magic Kingdom, and we're going to just think about the Halloween party since that's kind of what we've been talking about. If you're already in the Magic Kingdom during the daytime, you do not have to leave the park and get in line to come back in for the Halloween party. They will have designated stations or locations around Magic Kingdom throughout the day, typically later in the afternoon, closer to the 4 o'clock time when party guests can enter, where you can go and get your wristband so you don't have to leave the park. If you're not in the park, then you will get the wristband at the turnstile, and 4 p.m. is the earliest you can enter for Halloween or Christmas party for the parties if you don't have a daytime ticket. Now, if you're talking about the Disney After Hours event, that's typically like a 3-hour window after park close that you get to stay longer. In those events, you still get a wristband. You would get those inside the park since it's after hours. You get them inside the park. After hour events offer free popcorn, free ice cream treats, and free select beverages, typically soda, I think lemonade and water, obviously, all included during the 3-hour event. You can enter the parks as early as 7 p.m. for the Disney After Hours if you purchase that ticket. I do want to note, if you're doing the event in Epcot at close of the park, so 9 p.m. they do Luminous, and then the park is essentially closed. From China around to Morocco, that part of the park is closed. You cannot go through there. You can't go into the shops, into the different countries in that stretch, simply because there are no rides in those areas. So you think about, you got France with Remy, and then you hit Morocco. So that's it. On this side, you got Mexico, and you've got the Grand Fiesta Tours inside there, and then you hit Norway. So Norway to Morocco is closed off during that period of time. Most dining locations are closed. And so I know that's important to note if you're going to do a Disney After Hours. First off, I wouldn't waste any of my 3 hours sitting down to have dinner somewhere anyway. So eat first. Have room in your stomach for the free popcorn and free ice cream, but then get after it on the rides. Very low crowds for the Disney After Hours events. It's smaller than the Halloween and Christmas parties. I think it's closer to maybe 10,000 tickets that they sell for those. So low wait times on all of those rides. Here's what I know as far as the Disney After Hours at this point in time. Magic Kingdom's last one scheduled is May 19th. So that's next week, I think, next Tuesday or Monday. And that's simply because I think they are going to give the rest of the summer, hopefully, time for the new nighttime parade that we talked about a little bit ago. But then obviously they're going to have the Halloween party and then the Christmas party right after that. So there's no need for them to have after hours at Magic Kingdom since they'll have those ticketed events. The next one is Hollywood Studios. Right now, they have those scheduled on certain nights through September 3rd. No notice whether they're going to extend past September 3rd or not. My gut tells me probably not for Hollywood Studios, simply because you hit the second week of November and they will likely be starting Jollywood. So they probably give the park time. I know they do a lot of rehearsals for Jollywood late in the evenings, like when Fantasmic is happening. And then after that, so they can't do a lot of rehearsing if they've got extended hours or the Disney After Hours. Epcot right now, their last Disney After Hours event is through September 25th. I believe they will extend those towards the end of the year as an offering outside of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and outside of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas and Jollywood. But that's speculation on my part. Let's see here. Oh, you're talking about the dog thing, Jessica, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, and I just need to come up with a dairy-free Mickey bar. I know. I wish they would do that. So, okay, Cece, hopefully you're good on that. And if you have follow-up questions on after hours, by all means, you can pop those into the chat. Dina, your question was up next. Dina asked if they sell lightning lanes for the Christmas party. And this would apply to the Halloween party as well, but I know you asked Christmas party. No lightning lanes, no lightning lane multi-pass, no lightning lane single pass, no virtual queues, which they don't have any of those right now anyway. But if they ever reinstituted those when they open up the new stuff here in a couple of years, no virtual queues. So none of those apply during the Christmas party, Halloween party at Magic Kingdom. If you qualify for DAS, the Disability Accessibility Service Pass, those do apply during Christmas and Halloween parties. So you could utilize those. And typically DAS pass holders go through the lightning lanes. So those would be wide open since they aren't selling lightning lanes. So keep that in mind. If you qualify and were approved for DAS and go to Halloween or Christmas parties, those are going to be really short waits for you. And again, I mentioned this already. Christmas and Halloween parties at Magic Kingdom, they sell between 30 and 40% of capacity, which would put you at 30 to 40,000 in total. So point being there, very short wait times for a lot of the rides, especially, I'll use the Christmas party for example. They have two parades. Usually it's like 8:15 or 8:30, and then they do fireworks around 9:15, and then they have another parade around 10 o'clock. Don't quote me on the times, but it's that concept: parade, fireworks parade. During any of those three things, the lines for rides are even shorter. So if you wanted to bypass one of the two parades, for instance, you might get shorter waits on things like Tron or Tiana's Bayou Adventure or Peter Pan or Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, some of the more popular rides. So keep that in mind. But even outside of that, the lines are relatively short. So Dina, I hope that answers your question. And if you have follow-up, by all means, pop it into the chat. Cece, you are up next. And then I have Chris's. So Cece asked, for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, can you bring in your own bag for treats? Simple answer is yes, you absolutely can. If you're the aggressive candy collecting kid like I was, I got a big old pillowcase, so I can fit as much candy in there as possible. You're absolutely welcome to do that. If you don't want to bring in your own bag, and this, especially if you've never been to one of these events and you don't know, they do provide a free bag for guests. I think I have mine. Oh, yep, I do. Hang on. This is from last year's Halloween party. Hopefully the glare's not too bad. You can see there's Mickey and Minnie in their costumes. If I were to guess, actually I won't even guess. This bag is, if I can see, it is just about 10 inches tall and about 3 inches wide or deep and 7 inches wide. So decent sized bag, but you do get one of these when you come in. And I would know if you happen to have food allergies, so you can't eat the candy, when they hand out the bags, let them know that you have a food allergy. They will give you a bag that looks like this, but it's a different color. Usually it's like a green or a teal color. And then as you go to the trick-or-treating sites, there's about 6 or 8 around Magic Kingdom, and they're scooping out candy. They will see that you have a special colored bag for food allergies. You will be given a token for that station. And then you collect tokens from each station. And then once you've done all of your trick-or-treating, they will have designated allergy-friendly centers where you can get alternate treats with your tokens. So if you are going to bring your own bag, which you're absolutely welcome to do, just know that Disney will assume that you have no food allergies and they're going to be giving you candy in that bag. If you have food allergies, make sure you stop and ask them for, and it's not this one, this is the regular bag, but it's like this, different color. Ask for that bag so that they know you have food allergies and they're not dropping Hershey, Reese's peanut butter cups and you've got a peanut butter allergy or something like that. Yes, Jessica, they shuffle so much candy in your bag, and there's free grab spots. Yes, and again, if you really want to collect a lot of candy, trick or treat towards the very end of the event because they're just shoveling it out at that point in time. And Jessica, that's awesome. Yeah, Chris, they do. They give you a token at each station, and then you can take those to a specially located place, and they'll give you um, alternate treats for allergy sufferers. I don't know specifically, Chris. There's a designated allergy-friendly center or multiple centers around the park. When I don't think I have it, but they publish. You know, if you've ever been to Magic Kingdom on a regular day, when you get ready to walk underneath the train station on right there at the front of the park, there's holders with maps, different languages for maps. They print a special parade, a special Halloween party and Christmas party map. Now, Halloween would be specific for trick or treating. It shows you where the trick or treating sites are, and I think it also shows you where the alternate spots are to pick up the allergy friendly stuff. Yeah, Jessica, you said 2 barrels at each spot. One was allergens, one was for all candies. I think they've changed that now, Jessica. They've because when we were there last September, you're right. Each station had 2 barrels, but they had the same candy in both barrels. So they were handing out specific tokens, and then you went to a designated spot to pick up your allergy-friendly snacks or alternative treats. While we're just on the topic of the Halloween party, I scribbled these notes down. First off, a costume is not required to trick or treat. You can dress like I am. You know, I'm still wearing my shirt that I had on all day today. You can dress like this. You can dress like whatever. You don't have to be in costume to trick or treat. Everybody from your 2-year-old to your 92-year-old grandma, all welcome to trick or treat. All guests are welcome. If you choose to wear a costume, which a lot of people do, and I'll probably start talking about that here in a second, there are 2 rules as far as costumes go. No masks. Simply put, they don't want you to have obstructed vision with 30 or 40,000 people walking around. Makes sense. I mean, gosh, I can trip on the trolley tracks down Main Street without a mask on. And the other one, again, also for safety, your costumes cannot drag on the ground, whether you're wearing a gown or a cape or whatever. They cannot drag on the ground. So you need to make sure they're altered and up off the ground. Tripping hazards. It's all about safety. Okay, so costumes A are not required. B, if you do wear them, no mask, and they cannot drag on the ground. I couldn't believe. I'll never forget the first time we ever did a Halloween party. I couldn't tell you if it was September. I can tell you it was not in August because they just started doing August a year or 2 ago. So it was either September or October. It was hot. Like I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt, sweating hot. And we're walking down Main Street, and here comes probably a family. The kids are dressed like Dalmatians. The mom is full on Cruella de Vil with the big fur coat, wig, the whole 9 yards. I think I started sweating 5 times worse just because I saw her in that costume, but it was like, man, you are amazing. And then you turn and you're like, oh my God, look at that costume. Look at that costume. Look. People are insanely creative as well with their costumes. Absolutely love it. I think I spent just as much time kind of people watching costumes than anything else when we were there for the parade. Yes, that's right, Jessica, making you walk the extra steps. All right, so we'll talk more about the Halloween party here in a little bit. But let me get to Chris, your last question. And Chris's last question is going to lead into my trip tip that I came up with earlier this evening. Chris asked, what SPF factor suntan lotion do you recommend for next week? Oh, she was Figaro. That's awesome, Ruby. I love that. So because Chris asked the question for next week, he's either concerned about a lot of other people that are going to be there or he's going to be there. I know the answer to that. So here's some general guidelines. First off, Chris, everybody's skin tone is different. Some people handle the sun better than others. Some people, when they watch the weather in the morning and the meteorologist says it's going to be sunny out, they start to burn already before they go out the door. Um, so at a minimum, it's recommended that you use SPF 30 or higher. For me, I I get like one light pinkish, call it burn if you will, early in the season, and then I'm golden after that, and I just tan and tan and tan. So for me, if it gets above 30, I like to call it SPF sheet metal factor 50 or 80 or whatever it is, but 30 or greater is recommended. It's also recommended that you utilize a broad spectrum sunscreen, and that simply means that it will block out both UVA and UVB rays. So that's the simple answer to your sunscreen part of this. Now, the rest of what I tie into that is Jessica, I have a lot of Italian in me. I think that's probably where I get that tanning. But anyway, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. So, Chris, you're going to be there next week. Start hydrating now. And I tell everybody this, don't wait until you get there to start hydrating, because you're already dehydrated if you do that. When you get off the airplane or you get out of your car, once you hit Florida, the heat and the humidity is just going to suck whatever hydration you have in you. So start hydrating early before you get down there. When you're there, make sure you take advantage of the free ice water at the quick service or counter service locations around the parks. They help you to stay hydrated without costing you a dime. Bring sunglasses if you are a sunglass wearer. Now, I have bifocals, so I don't wear sunglasses. So the other tip, if you're not a sunglass wearer, is wear a hat, whether it's a sun visor or a hat with a bill to help protect your eyes. For a dude like me, it's probably good to wear a hat that also protects the top of your head, or at least get like the suntan spray and spray some suntan lotion on your head. Cooling towels where you can dip them in ice water or get them in cold water in the sink in the bathrooms and wrap them around your neck are great. Or the neck fans, those are wonderful as well. Most neck fans today are rechargeable, so your charging phone cords will charge those as well. I can tell you, if you get I keep looking for all my things to show, but my fuel rods, they're downstairs. If you buy a fuel rod at one of the kiosks at Disney, or if you order one online on Amazon, it comes with multiple cords for different adapters. One of those will plug into the neck fan, so you can charge those and keep those going all day long. Take air conditioning breaks. And when I say breaks, it doesn't necessarily mean you're doing nothing, but Magic Kingdom, scatter out. Tiki Room, scatter out. PhilharMagic, scatter out. Carousel of Progress, scatter out. Laugh Floor. Those are 4 great options that you can break up your day about every 2 hours and get inside in air conditioning. If you can't find air conditioning, at least find some shade. Now, again, Magic Kingdom, you can just walk through the stores on Main Street to get from one end of Main Street to the other without having the sun bake on you. Places like Animal Kingdom, Epcot, around the World Showcase, unless you're going into each of the pavilions themselves, don't have a lot of cooling areas, so try to find shade as best as you can. And then, Chris, if you're not a weather nerd like I am, you may not have looked yet. Last time I looked, I think every day next week, the projected high temperature down there is 95 or better. It's blazing hot. The average high temperature in the month of May in Orlando is 89 degrees. So 95 to 98 every day next week, that's pretty doggone hot. Now, if you've been following the weather down there at all, it's been incredibly dry. They've had 1 or 2 days of rain, I think, in the last month or month and a half. So it's super dry. That could equate to maybe less humidity, hopefully for you, but it's going to be hot. No doubt about it. So here is, Ruby just asked me if we can put the glitter gel in your hair to match us while we are there. Ruby, for you, absolutely. As a matter of fact, how about this? Ruby and I are going to go to Sir Mickey's and we'll get pixie dusted together. How's that sound, Ruby? Already have warnings in South Georgia for the weekend for the heat. Yep, absolutely. So here's my my trip tip. Cell phone, I want cell phone. Everybody has a cell phone, and you're going to take it and you're going to use it all day, whether it's on the My Disney Experience app, looking at wait times, booking your next lightning lane, mobile ordering your food, looking to see what's happened in the news, taking pictures, taking video, whatever it may be, and your battery is going to run out. And you're going to plug it into your fuel rod or your power pack and charge it. It's 95 degrees out. This thing is already running hot before you plug it in. So my trip tip is when you go into the Tiki Room, when you go into PhilharMagic, when you go into Carousel Progress or Laugh Floor at Magic Kingdom, same thing in the other parks, those indoor things, even if your phone's at 60% or whatever, plug it in and charge it while you're inside the air conditioning. And this trip tip clicked in my head today because I was driving home from work and I plugged my phone into the cord to charge it. And probably 5 minutes in, I'm driving home, and the little screen popped up on my, or little thing popped up on my screen that basically said, charging will resume when your phone temperature comes back to normal. Basically, it's telling you your phone's too hot for it to charge. And it was like, oh my gosh, that is a perfect trip tip. Charge it while you're inside. I know I ran into this year or two ago where I was using my phone, videoing. I had my fuel rod plugged in. I'm running low on charge, and I can see the thing pop up saying it'll start charging when the phone cools off. So we went into Columbia Harbor House, the quick serve restaurant, went upstairs. Not very many people there. Wasn't super air conditioned, but it was cool enough, and it helped cool my phone off. So I would recommend that. Helen said they sell phone fans too. Yes, they do. I don't know how cool they make your phone when it's 95 degrees out, but that would certainly help. Phone nearly died when I was in Launch Bay meeting Chewbacca. Yeah, so when you're inside, plug it in and charge it. When the phone's cool inside, that's a great thing to do. Jessica Ruby enthusiastically responded with a loud sure. Okie dokie. I will, Ruby, you'll have to remind me because I'm old and I forget things. But when we're there in November, we will go get pixie dusted. Absolutely. Amazon sells travel safe iced packs you can get to put your backpacks as well and chill each night in your rooms. That's right. Exactly. Yeah. So different options. But if you wait until you're outside and you go, oh, I'm down to 5%, I need to charge my phone. Your phone's probably already heated up as it is. Trying to charge is going to be a problem. Okay, Chris, CC, Dina, if all three of you are still with me, are we good on your questions? Any follow-ups to any of your questions and the stuff that I rattled off? Don't worry, Mike, I will help you. Awesome. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Ruby. Dina, so if we go to the Christmas party and they have started the new nighttime parade, they won't run on Christmas party night. That's correct. Both parades are the Christmas parade. Yes, Dina, that's right. So Halloween party and Christmas party, the same thing. They do parade, fireworks, parade. Now, the parades for Halloween party, the parades for Christmas party are special parades, unique. They're not Festival of Fantasy. They're not the new nighttime parade that's coming to the Magic Kingdom. The Halloween parade is called the Boo to You parade. And I wish I could remember the name of the Christmas parade, but it's unique. The Halloween party parade to me is super unique because you can only see it on Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party nights. The Christmas party is unique through November and the first 3 weeks of December because you can only see it on party nights. Typically, the last Christmas party night is around the 21st of December. Could be the 20th, could be the 22nd, but in that neighborhood, last party. After that, the Christmas parade takes the place of Festival of Fantasy for the rest of the park days at Magic Kingdom through December 31st. So if you happen to be going, say, the week of Christmas, thank you, Jessica, the Once Upon a Christmas Time parade. If you happen to be going the week of Christmas, you won't get to see the Christmas party because it will have ended, but you will get to see the Christmas parade. It just so happens to be during the daytime, and then you won't see Festival of Fantasy. Halloween party, Christmas party, the fireworks are also unique. They are not happily ever after. So you will get to see a special fireworks show, special parades. The stage show in front of the castle is special for the parties, different. Um, let's just get into Halloween party stuff now. But so Dina, I hope that helps. Let's see. Yeah, they don't do both parades, the new nighttime and the Christmas parade. It's just the Christmas parade two times. And if you think about it, I've often wondered. I don't know if anybody of you ever wondered this, but think about October 31st. That's the last Halloween party, and it's about a week to 9 days before the first Christmas party. So on October 31st, in some storage area in the Magic Kingdom, they have all of the Festival of Fantasy parade floats that they use during the day. They have all of the rainy day parade floats that they use when it's raining. They have all of the Halloween floats, and they have all of the Christmas floats. The storage has got to be amazing that they have to store all of that stuff overnight, during the day, whatever. But the reason why they can't do the new nighttime parade and the Christmas parade in the same night, 2 hours apart, is simply logistics. You've got all your characters in a Christmas themed getup. You've got all these guys that are in their toy soldier costumes or whatever it may be. The changeover is insane to do that. And so they are able to take all those floats, run it through, take it right by the barbershop and the fire station at the front of Magic Kingdom, run it right through that door, and then they just run that right back around and get it set up right at the start of where the parade begins over by Tiana's. So that's how they do that and run the same parade twice. You're right, Jessica. I mean, the overnight stuff from changing from Halloween to Christmas, it's insane because that last Christmas part or that last Halloween party ends at it's closer to 12:30 in the morning before it ends. And then at 8 a.m. the next morning, Main Street is Christmas for the most part. The tree isn't up yet, I don't think, but they have all of the Halloween stuff down and they got some Christmas stuff up. It's incredible. Whew. Okay, Halloween. Let's talk Halloween because that was announced this week. If you're going to be there from the middle of August, the first Halloween party is August 15th. Through the end of October. The last party is October 31st. If you're staying on property and you want to go to a Halloween party, those tickets will go on sale starting tomorrow, the 15th of May, for resort guests. If you're staying off property, if you're a local, not staying on property, your tickets will go on sale next Thursday, May 22nd. Disney did not announce a time that tickets will go on sale tomorrow. Typically, it's around 7 a.m. Eastern. There are 7 dates in August. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 days in September. So almost half of the month of September is Halloween party. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 days in October. More than half the month of October is Halloween parties. VBs, all you missed was me rambling on for the last half hour. So a ton of party opportunities if you want to go to a party. Now, I think about Chris's question about dogs and which resorts, and we kind of turned that into which angle are you looking at it? These are the Halloween party dates, and I didn't announce all the dates, but just the number of them in each of the months. If you're going to be down there during that time and you don't want to go to a Halloween party, you're going to want to know which of these dates are Halloween party nights, because as a regular ticket holder, you're going to be shepherded out of Magic Kingdom at 6 p.m. You're not going to get to see fireworks or the nighttime parade for that matter. So you're going to want to know which dates to avoid going to the Magic Kingdom if you don't want to be there on a party night. So you look at it both ways. So again, resort guests, tickets go on sale tomorrow. Non-resort guests, they go on sale next Thursday, the 22nd. Typically, opening night and Halloween night are the ones that sell out first. Never say never, but I've never seen them sell out on the first day. It'll take a few days to a week or so before either one of those sell out. The ones in between there, usually you've got a couple, 2, 3, 4 weeks of runtime before they sell out. So keep that in mind. The party officially starts at 7 p.m. on each of those nights. As a ticket holder, if you're not there during the daytime with a daytime ticket or an annual pass, you can enter the park as early as 4 p.m. with your wristband that they'll give you at the turnstiles. Trick-or-treating we talked about. I mentioned the Boo to You parade. It's an amazing parade. The Boo to You song is going to get stuck in your head, kind of like Small World song gets stuck in your head. Just giving you fair warning, but it's a great song. The fireworks is called the Disney's Not So Spooky Spectacular, and the stage show is the Hocus Pocus Villains Spelltacular. It's with the Sanderson sisters. Jack Skellington's in it. Amazing, amazing show. If you're a night owl and can make it, I will wait and watch the last stage show at midnight. There just feels like extra energy to that show, and there's fewer people because parents that have littles that need to get to bed aren't there any longer at midnight. I already talked about costumes, that you can wear them, just no masks, and they can't drag on the ground. Not required to wear a costume. God love the people that do that when it's still hot as blazes out in August and at least the first half of September. More power to those folks, but you're certainly welcome to do it. It's a great, great time. So I've been to the Halloween parties. I've been to the Christmas party at Magic Kingdom. I've never done Jollywood yet. That's on my list for this November when we're there. People always ask which one's your favorite, Halloween or Christmas? In some ways, that's kind of like asking me which of my 3 sons are my favorite. It's really hard to pick, and sometimes it's not fair to pick. They're different. Now, if you are a Halloween is my favorite holiday of the year, no matter what, always number 1, you would probably say the Halloween party is better. If you're a Christmas is my absolute favorite holiday, Christmas parade is probably going to be your pick. Christmas party is going to be your pick. Cece, I cannot wait to do Jollywood this year. But as far as the Magic Kingdom ones go, they're both amazing. The parades are incredible. The fireworks are incredible. The different things they do around the park. The Halloween party, you've got instead of the Dapper Dans, it's the Cadaver Dans. They sing. They're kind of in ghost get up. They have wandering ghosts walking around the park. There's a pirate band that plays over by Pirates of the Caribbean. Obviously, they've got the trick-or-treating all around. There's different dance parties for the kids over in Tomorrowland and Fantasyland, and I think back by the Big Top. Just incredible. Smaller crowds. They have special popcorn buckets if you're a popcorn bucket person. Let me see if I can point right there is my Halloween bucket. How am I doing on point? Pretty close. There's my Halloween bucket from last year, and then there's my Christmas popcorn bucket from the year prior. If they have a new Christmas bucket this year, I'm not going to get another one of those Mickeys, but if they have another new Christmas popcorn bucket this year, I'll get it and put it up there to showcase it. I guess that's the closest thing you can say I have a collection of. Yes, Jessica, that's the other thing. All of the 2 things character-wise. The characters in costume. She mentioned Tigger, Piglet, Pooh, and Eeyore in their Halloween costumes. Awesome. There are also unique characters at times. Jack and Sally are there as a character meet and greet for Halloween. They're also there for Christmas. In all of my trips that we've ever taken, and if you guys have ever heard me yammer on about this stuff, there's 2 things I always say. My favorite trip I've ever taken was when Tanner, who's now 19, was 2, his first time. My wife and I spent 80% of our vacation in line to see characters with him, and my parents took our older boys to ride all the rides. My favorite trip. Tanner was at that age where he just fell into the characters with hugs. This was way before COVID, way before anything like that. He had princess lip marks on his cheeks and his forehead from the princesses. It was the best trip ever. That next year, I think it was just Lori and I and Tanner. I don't think the boys were with us. We were there at Halloween, and we went to a Halloween party. Tanner and I and Lori happen to be back in Fantasyland. Just lucky enough that from a doorway out walked Snow White and all seven dwarfs. And I have a picture of her and the seven dwarfs and me and Tanner. Best memory from the Halloween parties ever, I think. Dina, what does Jollywood offer? Special shows and fireworks too? So Dina, I've never been to Jollywood. If Cece's still on, she can maybe chime in a little bit. But they do have special characters that are unique that aren't there during the daytime. They have a couple of unique shows that are not there during the daytime. Where the Beauty and the Beast show is, if you've ever been there on the stage, they do Beauty and the Beast. They do a special Christmas show there. I watched that, somebody stream it. I watched it live. It's really cool. Hey, Ronnie, I'm sorry that you're not feeling well, but I appreciate you popping in. Mando with Baby Galaxy, Baby with Baby Yoda and Galaxy's Edge. So yeah, Dina, they do have special characters, special shows. I think they just do normal Fantasmic. They don't have a special Fantasmic per se. But so right now it's like the Halloween hype, Dina, because they're just rolling out tickets starting tonight. Good night, Helen. Thanks for joining. Have a good night's rest. So we're going to get through the Halloween hype and ticket sales. And I would guess, what is this, the middle of May? Maybe a month from now, could be closer to 6 weeks. We're going to be getting all this same hype for Christmas. And they're going to be announcing when the Christmas tickets go on sale. And we'll have more and more information on that. Last year was year 2 for Jollywood. They made improvements from year 1 from lessons learned. I would expect they'll do the same thing this year. And you can never say never that they might have some new fancy things that they release. Dina, that's like I said, that's my plan for this November when we're there. Those of us that are coming for what I'm now calling the Park Life Party, that Friday night will be a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party night for all of us that want to go. Might be the next night on Sunday, or maybe on or Saturday, or on Thursday. It might be a Jollywood night, and I'm going to try to plan to do that. Hey, Unicorns, welcome in. So we're planning on doing both Jollywood and Mickey's Very Merry this year. I'm excited about that. Okay, I have 2 more quick things, and then we're going to do our game. And I said I was going to try to stick to an hour, and here we are already at an hour. Jessica, I'm excited too. I mean, first off, I'm excited to meet you guys. Now I'm super excited to get pixie dusted with Ruby and to enjoy all these experiences with you guys. It'll be awesome. And it makes me flash back to last September when we were down there for Dreamstream and getting to experience a lot of these fun Halloween things with people that I'd met for the first time. So I'm absolutely looking forward to November. Disney announced some information on the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot. It will start on August 28th and run through November 22nd. That's pretty standard. Last year, they shaved it back to August like this. The year before, it started in July. So August 28th through November 22nd, they'll have various food booths around the World Showcase. They're bringing back Remy's Hide and Squeak Scavenger Hunt, and they will have the Eat to the Beat concert series as well. I bring this up because it runs through November 22nd. We that are going are all going to be there November 13th, 14th, and 15th. And that Saturday, which would be the 15th, we have targeted Epcot for that park day. So once I know more information on who's going to be performing in the Eat to the Beat series, we'll share that and we'll talk about that and how we maybe plan to go. I'll watch that together if it's a group or a band or a singer that we're interested in. Otherwise, that day you'll get to enjoy all festival things that you want to enjoy as far as food and wine goes. So I'm excited about that. Okay, last quick thing. And Chris, I don't know if you're still on. I can't remember if this will affect you or not. I know you're getting there in the next handful of days. So I apologize if my timing is off. But the stage show at the Magic Kingdom right now is closed. They're doing stage work. Right now, they expect that to happen through May 18th. They anticipate May 19th being the first stage show. But with all refurbishments, maintenance work, something can happen and that could get delayed. And they may not be running the stage show yet at the Magic Kingdom. Okay. It's game time. If you have not been with us over the last handful of weeks, I came up with this idea of doing the ABCs of something Disney. And so 2 weeks ago when we did this, we did the ABCs of Disney characters. So we started with the letter A and everybody put in their answer for a character that started with the letter A, like Ariel, for instance. And then we went on to B and all the way through the alphabet. And I think for characters, we hit all 26. It was awesome. Last week, we did rides at the parks. So could have been Astro Orbiter for A, for instance, and Buzz Lightyear for B, and so forth and so on. Or Barnstorm or something like that. So that's the idea behind this. And so today, we are going to go with, I have 2 different categories. So we could do this week and then another one next time. But I think we're going to go with movies. So Disney, it has to be Disney. It can be Pixar too. I consider Pixar to be Disney. I don't make a delineation between the two. So Disney movies that start with each letter of the alphabet, we will start with the letter A. So if you have a movie that starts with the letter A that's Disney movie, drop it in the chat. Atlantis. I like that one. Hey, Amanda. Howdy. Welcome in. Aladdin. I like that answer. Aladdin. I haven't seen it in a long time, Jessica. Atlantis. Alice in Wonderland. A New Hope. If you've not been with us, you can count on Cece nailing the Star Wars stuff. I love it, Cece. Your commitment to Star Wars is second to none. Aristocats. A great one, Jessica. Avatar. Yes, Dina. Way to go. I like that. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Last call for any A movies. I had Aladdin on my list. And when I put my list together, obviously I'm cheating because I know what the category is going to be. First one I pop in my head, I write it down. I don't go to my second, third, fourth. So I thought of Aladdin right away, so that's what I wrote down. All right, let's move on to B. What is your B movie? Movie that starts with the letter B. Bolt. Amanda, that's a good one. Brother Bear. Double B. Big Hero 6, says Blake. Beauty and the Beast. VBs. I like that. Brave. Jessica. Jessica, you're dropping them good tonight. Cece, can you come up with a B Star Wars movie? Beauty and the Beast. Bolt is a really cute movie, Ronnie. I like that one too. Blake, I had Big Hero 6 like you. I'm a huge Big Hero 6 fan. I say this all the time. I think Big Hero 6 and Up were amazing movies that don't get as much hype as they probably should. And I'm surprised we haven't seen a Big Hero 6 2 come out yet. Kind of hard to do a second Up, I think, unless it was going to be with the little Boy Scout. Yeah, so Big Hero 6, love it. All right, let's go on to C. What is your movie starting with the letter C? Well, Ronnie, you're right. I love Bolt, and that's a cute movie too. Cars, Cinderella. I think Cinderella is a really good one because it has an S sound, so you have to be really cognizant of that. I didn't think of Cinderella. Christopher Robin, Coco. Good one, Blake. Clone Wars movie. Cece, I love it. You're great with the Star Wars stuff. I love that about you. I, I had cars. That was my the answer that came to me when I was putting this stuff together. All right, letter D. What is your movie that starts with a D? Candle Shoe. I don't know that one, Jessica. I'll have to look that one up. Amanda with Dumbo. Dumbo. Any other D's? Dinosaur. Darby O'Gillen, Little People. I think you're making stuff up now, Jessica. I've never heard of that one. Don't be pulling my leg now. I had Dumbo on my list as far as a D movie. You're not. I know you're not. I'm teasing. All right, let's go on to E. What is your movie that starts with the letter E? Elemental. That is awesome, Amanda. Dinosaur, Dina, CC, yep. Encanto is another really good one. I've not seen that movie from start to finish. I hate to admit that, but I've not seen that one from start to finish. Although I think Moana had been out for several years before I saw it for the first time. Love Moana. Enchanted. I had Enchanted, Jessica. That was on my list. Emperor's New Groove, Le Mans. I love that. That's awesome. Elemental, CC. Yes, Jessica, you and I matched with Enchanted. Okay. Escape to Witch Mountain. Man, that goes back a long ways. I love that one, though. Love that one. I mean, those movies, I read the books when I was in grade school. Good Lord, those movies must have been in black and white, I guess, huh? All right, let's go to F. What is your Disney movie that starts with the letter F? Flubber. That's awesome, Jessica. Fantasia, Frozen, Finding Dory, Frozen, Fantasia, Fox and the Hound. Good one, Blake. VBs, I picked up on that. Freaky Friday. I don't think Friday the 13th was a Disney movie, was it? No, I don't think so. I had Frozen. That was the one that came to me. Frankenweenie. Nice, Jessica. Finding Nemo, Le Mans. Frankenweenie. That just saying that makes me giggle. I had Frozen on my list. Let's go to G. What is your G Disney movie? George of the Jungle, Jessica. Goofy movie. Look, BB's anything with Goofy is aces in my book. Now, Jessica, don't get carried away. Oh, Force Awakens. Cece comes in with a Star Wars F movie. I love it. Goofy movie. Guardians of the Galaxy. Jessica, yes. I had George of the Jungle as well on my list. Okay, let's go to H. What is your H movie? I haven't seen a Goofy movie in a long time. I need to watch that again. I love Goofy. He's my absolute favorite. I think you guys know that. Hercules, Heavyweights. Ooh, nice one. High School Musical, Amanda. I love that. That is awesome. Haunted Mansion, Jessica. Yes, yes, yes. Some really good ones. Boy, Jessica, you're dropping them like crazy left and right. I think you had at least two for every letter. You're rocking it tonight. Herbie. Jessica with the third one. Yep, Herbie. Oh, that's cool, VBs. I'll have to check that out. Halloween Town. Good Lord, Jessica. That's 5 now with Heidi. Good gravy. Hannah Montana, the movie. Cece, very good. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I had Hunchback of Notre Dame, another good one. Hocus Pocus. Geez, Jessica, you're on fire. I had Hercules on my list, and I think, honestly, because I had just seen it like a handful of days before I was working on this. Let's go to the letter I. Do you have a Disney movie that starts with the letter I? Inside Out, Homeward Bound. I feel like that was Disney, Jessica. Blake with Incredibles. Incredibles. We get some of these letters where it gets a little bit harder and harder to do. I should go like speed rounds on these things, like 20 seconds, and then we go to the next one. All right. Into the Woods. Ice Age. It's on Disney. If it's on Disney Plus, then it must be. Inside Out. Iron Will. Iron Giant. Is that a Disney movie? Anybody know? I just thought of that when I saw Iron Will. Into the Woods. Yes. I had Incredibles on my list. I don't know if Iron Giant is a Disney movie or not. All right, let's go to J. Do you have a J Disney movie? Jungle to Jungle, Jungle Cruise, Jungle Book. There seems to be a little jungle in Disney J's. I had Jungle to Jungle for mine. James and the Giant Peach. All right, JK. Does anybody have a Disney movie that starts with the letter K? King of the Grizzlies. I've never heard of that one. This one, I'll be honest, I could not think of a Disney movie that started with the letter K. Kim Possible movie. Okay, I can believe that. Was there any Disney movies that started with the word night? Knight. That would be a possibility. Kim Possible, So the Drama, Cece says. That's good. That was the only thing I could think of, is if there was a movie with knights. Let's move on to L. Kronk's New Groove. Unicorns. Nice. When I see Kronks, I think of the Christmas movie Christmas with the Cranks. Spelled the same, just with an A instead of an O. Jessica says Luca. Lightyear says Blake. Lady and the Tramp. Lion King. Lady and the Tramp. CC, love it. Last Jedi. Little Mermaid. Mine has not been said yet. There it is. Lamont's got it. Lilo and Stitch. That's what I had for my L. All right, let's move on to M. I do want to wrap up by top of the hour. Taking you longer than I thought we would tonight. Meet the Robinsons. Good one, Amanda. I love that. That's a really good one. Mars Needs Moms, Moana. Hey, Eric, how are you? We're playing ABCs of Disney. We are doing movies. We're on the letter M. Disney movies that start with the letter M. CC with another Star Wars one, Mandalorian. Muppet movie, Dina, love it. Heartbroken that Muppet 3D vision is going away, but I'm thankful I'm going to get to see it before it goes away. Mary Poppins, that's a good one, Jessica. Monsters Incorporated, yes. Monsters Inc. Monsters University. The next one, I guess it was the prequel, right? Mighty Joe Young is a good one. I had Moana on my list. Mickey Once Upon a Christmas. Maleficent. It took me a long time to say Maleficent right. I would just stumble on that. So, okay, how about N? Movies, Disney movies starting with the letter N. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Very good, Jessica. I missed that ride. Nighttime Before Christmas, Nighttime Before Christmas. Amanda and Unicorse were thinking the same thing, probably typing it almost at the same time. Newsies, says Jessica. Newsies. That was mine. I had Newsies on my list. Never seen it, but I had it on my list. All this talking is making me coffee. Nighttime Before Christmas and Newsies. Yes. Okay. Let's keep rolling. O. Any movies that start with the letter O? Disney movies starting with O. Unicorse with Oliver and Company, Old Yeller, Onward, Oliver and Company, 101 Dalmatians. John, very good. Great answer. The heck did I have for mine? Oh, I had Oliver and Company. All right, how about P? Oz, very good, Jessica. Disney movie starting with P, the letter P. Pocahontas, Oz the Great and Powerful for O, Pocahontas. Pete's Dragon, that's great, Blake. Man, that goes back a ways. Pinocchio, Pete's Dragon. Peter Pan, Jessica, ding, ding, ding. That's what I had on my list. It's Peter Pan. All right, let's go on to R. We're speed rounding it now. Disney movie starting with letter R. What you got? Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean is a good one. Raya and the Last Dragon. Phantom Menace. Cece, yes, I knew you'd get there with Star Wars. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. What else you guys got for R movies? Not R-rated movies. Ratatouille. Raya and the Last Dragon, Ratatouille. I had, Rise of Skywalker, Cece, there you go. Beautiful. Of course, yes, I did skip Q, as a matter of fact. Does anybody have a Q? Robin Hood's a good one. Okay, Q or R. We'll do Q or R. If you've got a Q movie or an R movie, go ahead. Eric, Peter Pan, that's good. Queen of, I don't even know what that is. Katwe? Did you and Jessica get together and decide to make up stuff and pull my leg? I think you guys are swindling me here. I don't know of any, I didn't think of any cues. All right, let's move on. S. Disney movie starting with letter S. Sleeping Beauty, says Amanda. Saving Mr. Banks. That's great, Blake. The sports drama that came out in 2016. I'll have to look at that one. Snow White. Dina, good one. Really good one. Solo. Cece. That is awesome. I love it. Solo for her S. Snow Dogs. Sword in the Stone. Dina, that's a really good one too. I did have Sleeping Beauty. Soul is a good one. I had Sleeping Beauty on my list. Let's go to T. What do you got for a T Disney movie? Tarzan. Ooh, Swiss Family Robinson. Jessica's good. Tangled. Sleeping Beauty. Anybody else have a T? We got Tarzan and Tangled so far. Tangled. The Empire Strikes Back. CC, there you go. That darn cat. CC, I'm going to allow that. I know a couple weeks ago when we were doing, I don't know what we were doing. Maybe it was rides, and I said, if it started with the, that didn't count for a T. But for you, for The Empire Strikes Back, I'll take that. I had Tangled on my list for my T movie. So let's go on to U. Any movies that start with the letter U, Disney movies? Up. Toy Story, Lamont, good one. Good one for T. I like that. So I'm waiting for Disney to come out with the sequel to Tangled, and it's going to be called Untangled. That would be my U movie. How about that? Up. Says CC. I had Up on my list. Does anybody have a Disney movie that starts with the letter V? V is in Victor. I could not think of one. Valiant is a good one, though, Unicorse. Ooh. Anybody else with a V Disney movie? All right, we'll move on. What's your W Disney movie? I have two. Wish is a very good one, Amanda. Wreck-It Ralph. Of course, I had that one in my head. Where the Red Fern Grows. Wall-E, Blake, that's the other one I had. Such a cute movie. But yeah, Wreck-It Ralph was the other one, of course, that I had in my head. Winnie the Pooh. Lamont, that's a great one. Winnie the Pooh, Jessica, yes. Yes. White Fang. I don't know that one. I'll be honest, guys, I'm not a big movie person. Like I said, it wasn't that long ago that I saw Moana for the first time. I haven't seen Encanto from start to finish. I've not seen Coco. There's others that I've not seen, but I'm just not good. We haven't been to the movie theater in 6 years, probably, something like that. 5-6 years, I bet. It's probably closer to 6. Is there any Disney movie that starts with the letter X? Let's just finish out. X, Y, or Z. Do you have a Disney movie that starts with X, Y, or Z? X-Men, Marvel, that counts. I'll give you that, of course. Zootopia, Amanda. Zootopia, Jessica. You again, and Zootopia. I don't think they ever came out with zombies. That's a good one, Jessica. I don't think they ever came out with a spinoff from Buzz Lightyear for Zurg, did they? Zootopia. Zurg was the only other Z Disney related thing I could come up with other than Zootopia. All right. I think answers are dwindling. Okay. We're not doing it tonight because we're already been an hour and a half. We're going to do it next time. I have one last ABC category that we'll do. It's all Disney World related. So we'll do that. I do have a lot of movies to catch up on, Jessica. Absolutely. Xenon Girl in the 21st Century. Wow. Of course, I bet if I scroll back through these comments, there's probably 20 of you guys have mentioned that I've never heard of before. in my life. But yes, Jessica, I do have some movies to catch up on. And now that Briggs is getting to be close to 2, he loves Disney stuff and Disney movies. So um, that's why I've watched Moana. That's why I watched most of Encanto, because he was watching them. Zoom, 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 make my heart go boom, boom. Okay, so we'll do my last ABC category next time. I'm saying next time because I'm not available next Wednesday night. So I think we'll take next week off, and we'll do the following Wednesday. That would be May 28th, which would be the night before I leave for my trip. So I'll probably have, pre-trip stuff that we can talk about, any last minute planning, any things that we've done that we can talk about. We'll do that. We'll do the last ABCs. If there's any new Disney news over the next 2 weeks, we'll talk about that then. And absolutely, and Ronnie, I see you just posted the Spotify. If I could beg, borrow, and steal you to post the Discord link too, I would love that as well. If you're not a member of our Discord, please join. We have a page there where you can put in your questions. I love getting the questions that way because if there's any research that I have to do, I like to be able to do that. I know I could probably spout off answers, but I like to look for any factual things that might be unique or something special or something important to know, like miniature ponies as far as a service animal goes. But yeah, so join the Discord if you can. If you haven't yet, we got different pages in that Discord, the Q&A stuff. I post links to the podcast. Thank you, Ronnie. To the YouTube podcast, I post a link to that in the Discord. We have a positivity page. I think we have a countdown page. If you know me at all, you know I got a humor page, and I like posting silly stuff out there. So I'd love to have you join us there. But again, no Park Life Live next Wednesday. We'll do the 28th, which will be the day before my trip. And then we'll do June 4th, which will be the day after I get back from my trip. So I can do a pre-trip, last minute planning conversation, and then we can do a trip recap. I appreciate every one of you for joining tonight, whether you were with me for the whole time or if you were able to hang for a few minutes, whatever it may be. Love that you're with us. Ronnie shared the link to the Spotify channel. I post podcast every Monday morning at about 5 a.m. Eastern. So it's there for you if you're driving to work, driving the kids to school, running errands, going for a walk in the park, whatever it may be. You can listen to me on Spotify, or if you've got your phone, tablet, or laptop, you can watch on YouTube. Park Live Podcast is the channel name on both of those. If you want to get in touch with me personally, I am on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Mike_Disney Travel, all one word, or Facebook, Mike's Magical World Vacations. You can message me directly on Discord, as well as those other outlets as well. Always happy to help out with questions. If you have a trip that you want to plan, I would love to work with you and your family to book that for you. We didn't really get into it much, but we are doing the Park Life Party November 13th, 14th, and 15th. I think there's 5 or 6 families that I've already booked for that. So there'll be a good group of people there. We would love for you to join us for any and all of it if you can. And you can reach out if you have questions on that. And I think that's a wrap for tonight. I rattled through all that pretty quickly. Let's see here. Lamont, thank you for joining. I always appreciate having you on. And of course, I'm glad that you were able to join. Yes, my trip is going to be very special. 4 generations of my family there. I cannot wait. I can't believe it. I'm so excited that my parents are going when 4 or 5 years ago they told us they weren't going again. So I'm so thankful for that. I'm obviously excited about Briggs and his very first time going. So that's going to be incredibly special. The older you get in life, the more things become more meaningful, I guess, if you will. I think back when my 2 oldest boys went to kindergarten. Yeah, I walked them to kindergarten for a first day, but it didn't really stick with me. Tanner's very first day of kindergarten, that to this day, he's 19 years old, sticks with me. So going with 4 generations, getting to see Disney through the eyes of Briggs, through the eyes of his parents, who one of them is my son, that's going to be over the moon exciting as well. So much excitement with all of that. So I appreciate that. Unicourse, Jessica, thank you for joining. And Ruby, we're getting pixie dusted. Oh, Unicourse, you may not have been on when that happened, but Ruby wanted me to have some sort of sparkle gel, something or other. And I said that, how about we go to Sir Mickey's and get pixie dusted together? So if you guys are in the park with us, you or Ruby, Sophia, and I can all get lined up and get pixie dusted together. Blake, I appreciate you joining. Thank you so much. Dina, thank you. Thanks for the question you asked. Love having you here. Blake, as always, thank you very much. Ronnie, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you being on. I know you weren't feeling great, so I appreciate that. Unicourse, have a great evening. Again, Jessica, thanks. Good night. Good night, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks. I'll remind everybody on Discord. I'll probably post something on the YouTube channel as well, but no live next Wednesday. We'll go live again on the 28th. That's a wrap for tonight. Have a great day, great evening, and even better tomorrow. And remember, when you wake up tomorrow, it'll be a great day to be alive. Bye, everybody. Good night.